Welcome to the FGTN show. I'm your host, Alex Tim, and today we're diving into the newest fishing gear and tech on the market. That's right, Garmin's Ultra 2 16-inch that they just announced today, and the Force Current. I didn't see either of these come in, but I'm happy they're here. They are a slick new sonar ball that's coming from another brand that we're going to talk about, survival gear, and even an app that helps you measure fish, believe it or not. Kind of interesting. I just had that emailed to me tonight as well. And it's all brought to you by Angler Built, but we'll get into that in just a little bit here. If you're watching live, hit the chat. Let me know that you're here and what gear has your attention. I would take a guess, but let me know down in the chat below. And let me know down in the comment section if you're on the replay squad. Nice to see you all here. And let's go ahead and dive on in. We got Blaine tuning in. What's up, man? Nice to see you here. John Zick, member for 18 months. Yeah, buddy. Thank you. I appreciate the support of all of our channel members. I appreciate it. Fierce Outdoors. What's up? What's up? Let's get this place going here. So, first up, dude, we've got so much new stuff. Normally, I go through like news and I go through new products and I go through deals and I go through events and I go through like all that stuff. Tonight is only new products. That is the only thing we're going to talk about. And I got tabs lined up and I cut a bunch of stuff off of it. iCast next week is going to be good. I got so many things getting emailed to me around like iCast, new products coming in. So that's what a lot of these announcements are, is because they know that they're going to be in a new product showcase coming up next week. So that's why we're getting this big rush of announcements coming in right now. Here for Lawrence, Luis, love it, man. Love it. Nice to see you over there on Facebook as well, repping the crew. All right. Garmin announced today the Echomap Ultra 2 16-inch chart plotter. So, as we know, the Ultra 2 series has had the 10 and the 12-inch for quite a while now. Well, they now announced the 16-inch Ultra 2 version that has, you can either get it with the worldwide base map or Garmin Navionics Plus. And you would be silly not to do Garmin Navionics Plus because it is the exact same price. That is basically just saying the charts and the maps. So the worldwide base maps are basically going to give you a blank slate, basically an outline of the world, and you're not going to be able to see any lake detail at all. Garmin Navionics Plus is going to give you those lake details in a lot of basically North America. So pretty good there. This is not cheap. It is $45.99. I do understand that. The 12-inch is $28.99. The 10-inch is $2,099. So $2,100, $2,900, $4,600. Now, I'm excited about this for really only one particular reason, and it is really exciting. So we're going to talk about that. But going from, just to level set, a 12-inch to a 16-inch screen is a massive difference in screen size. 5K. LOL. It's just money, right? Yeah. But honestly, I know this is expensive, $4,600, and hopefully it goes on sale. But it is, when you compare it to the others that are out there that have some of the same features that we're going to talk about, it's actually not that crazy when you compare it. And you know what? I'll pull up a couple others and we'll do a comparison here. But I think for a 16-inch screen, this is not too crazy of a price when you look at some of the other products that are out there on the market and what those are priced at. So obviously, it's a bigger screen, right? Designed with the serious angler in mind, 16-inch chart plotter, full HD resolution, brings the ultimate in big picture clarity, brightness, and readability in your navigation, mapping, and sonar returns. Select models come preloaded with Navionics Plus mapping. None of this stuff is new, right? What is new, of course, 16-inch touchscreen with keyed assist. Let me make this bigger here. HDMI output connectors for screen sharing. I don't know why there's an S. There's only one. That feature right there. This is the only screen in the Garmin Echomap line of screens that has an HDMI out. No other screen. So I think that's a pretty big deal because people that like to use these for ice fishing, right, primarily, and they want to plug it into a TV, they want to plug in a screen recorder. You've never been able to do it. You've been able to use Active Captain on the Ultra 2s where you can actually use the Helm app and you can record on your phone, but you've never had HDMI out until now with this new screen. So it now has an HDMI out on the back. Let's go ahead and pull up the picture of it. I know they had an output on the back here. Here we go. So this is the back of the screen. We got a power. We've got a ground. It's an earth ground. You've got network port 1, network port 2. They're the exact same. You can just have 2, which is great because if you're networking units and you have like a Garmin Live Scope, you can now do that without having a GLS 10 black box. I'm sorry, a network expander, a GMS 10 network expander box, one that it's basically a hub, an Ethernet hub. And then you've got your 12-pin transducer port, HDMI out, and then your NMEA 2000 port as well. So pretty simple on the back here, but you've got that HDMI out. To me, that is the big thing. I think even for $45.99, going from $28.99 to $45.99 is actually reasonable. Even if you took the HDMI off of it, putting that HDMI in, I think just unlocks so many new things too, which is great because it allows people to still use units that are in the family. Because remember, you can only network the same family of chart plotters together. So if you have all Echomap units and you have or you have all GPS map units, you can't mix them. You can't buy an Echomap and then have it network and share your live scope. You can't do that. You have to stay in the family. Well, previously, if you wanted to do HDMI, like I said, you have to go to the GPS map family. And when you do that, now all of a sudden you can't share your transducer between the two of them. Now you can actually get an HDMI out within the family. Granted, it is a crazy expensive screen. It is a 16-inch screen. Not many people are ice fishing with 16-inch screens, but maybe they mount it in one area in their ice house. They've got a long HDMI cable to plug into a TV in another area or into an input port or a box or something like that. With that much screen, wish it had HDMI in like my 8610. Yes, 100%, John. And in fact, that's what I'm going to compare it to in a second here. Is I'm going to pull up the 8600 series of units to show a comparison in the size because they have 16. They have an 8616. So we'll be able to compare the jump from a 12 to a 16 to show you. I don't think this is that big of a jump. I haven't actually compared them right yet, so we're going to do it live. It's got Bluetooth technology that enables voice control features, supports live scope, as we know, wirelessly network share to other UHD2 units. So even if you have like a 93 UHD2, you can actually wirelessly network share sonar waypoints and routes. You cannot wirelessly network share live scope, but the other sonars you can. Multiband GPS. So the rest of it is pretty basic, pretty standard, I should say, not basic, pretty standard for the Ultra 2 series. You still have the active captain, force trolling motor, integration, all of those other things. So the biggest thing here, 16-inch screen, and you have HDMI out. I don't know of any other difference on these units other than that. So let's go ahead and look at the specs here. In fact, what we can do is we could actually pop over. I don't know if I can do this all on the same screen here, but what we will do is I wonder if they have, I don't think they have a compare feature here. All right, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to pull a tab out here, put it next to it on my end, and I'm going to pull up. I'll show you what I'm looking at here. So I'm going to pull up the tool that is actually sponsoring this episode. It's a tool that I built, so it's not actually sponsoring us, but Angler Built, if you want to go check it out, anglerbuilt.com. You can go check it out. And we've got the bundle builder we talked about last week. We're going to talk about the Screenfinder. So if you click on it, you can go in here and you can compare basically any screen. I only have up to 12-inch screens in here. I will now add up to 16-inch screens in here so that way we can look at those. But for now, let's go ahead and look at that 12-inch Ultra 2, which is this guy right here. So this guy right here, what we're looking at, and this is what that 12-inch was. We've got a 1280 by 800 screen. It does not have an HDMI out. It doesn't have HDMI in or BNC video in, which the 16 doesn't either, but the 16 does have the HDMI out. It has 2 network ports just like it. View on phone is supported. Touch screen, 12-inch versus 16. So let's see what the resolution is on this guy. Look at that. Better resolution as well. So those are the 3 primary differences that we're getting with this new screen. Bigger screen, 16-inch screen, obviously. HDMI out, so you can put it onto a TV, and better screen resolution. Screen resolution goes to 1920 by 1080 versus 1280 by 800. This is actually really, really good. This is on par with most of the 8600 series, which used to be their flagship on the GPS map line. So this is really, really good to see. And with a screen that big, you want to see it have that better resolution. Okay, so now that we've looked at this is $4,600. Let's go ahead and jump in here and look at what a GPS map 8610 would look like. Here we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to compare the size difference in the price difference. Okay. So this is $29.99 for a 10-inch screen. And when we were looking at a 12 before. The 12-inch version of the 8600 is $42.99. The 16 is $6,300. Okay. So again, previously, I know you could get like the 7616 and it was maybe a couple $100 less. But this was the number one screen that you would go to if you wanted a bigger screen with HDMI out, is you'd usually go to the 8600 series. So on the back of this, though, you've got a lot more going on, which is why this used to be the flagship. And I say used to be the flagship because they now have the 9000 series, but the 9000 series is surface mounted inside of like your helm, so your dash. You aren't going to be putting it on a gimbal on a shuttle or anything like that. So this is technically still like for ice fishing conditions, the flagship product. So here, what you've got is 2 network ports. You've got an HDMI in and an HDMI out. You've got CVBS in, which is basically RCA cable in, like that yellow, RCA cable in. You've got audio. You've got a J1939 and NMEA 2000. You've got an 8-pin transducer, a LVS transducer. If you use the pin connector here, which goes to basically another Ethernet, you've got the 12-pin transducer. So you can have multiple transducers on here, USB and power as well. So this is what it used to be. So 6300 and 4300 is the comparison. So we can see $45.99 in comparison isn't that crazy. And we do know that Garmin just on 7/1 knocked all the prices of all their other products up, right? Which is why you may be looking at this and say, this didn't used to be $20.99.99. And you're right, it didn't. What it used to be, and I can tell you because I've got it here, it used to be $18.99. So on 7/1, this went up $200. So if you're thinking, hey, I bought one of those and at full retail and it wasn't that price, that's why. Because of all the things going on right now in the market, they raised their prices. With that much screen, which I had, okay, we already read that one, John. Would need a bigger fish house. Yes. Yes. Dude, I don't know. I'm excited. Like to be able to say, okay, so let's just say like you wanted a 16-inch screen. This is the most affordable 16-inch screen that you could have connected to your Garmin, right? Like, does like Russell, let's see, what are those big screens people use? The NBT Marine 16. Do they have a 16? They do have a 16. Let's see, $3,000. Okay, but let's talk about the difference here. So you could technically get this unit as a 16-inch screen, and it's $3,000 instead of $4,600. But what is the difference? This screen, while 16 inches and touchscreen, has to hook up to either an 8600 series, like we talked about, or one of the 1243 or 1643 units, because it has to have HDMI out. Ta-da! So it gets you again. So you can't even use this unless you buy like a smaller 8610 or something like that, or a 1243, which is a 12-inch screen that you could get, and you still couldn't get it. And then it's just mirroring the picture too. So like Russell Marine has these screens now, NBT Marine has these screens now, and they make them big too, right? Like I think these go up to like 22-inch screens that you can get here. But again, they just mirror the screen. So if you move the screen here or change something on the actual unit it's connected to, it's actually changing all of the stuff on that screen as well. Whereas if you go ahead and buy one of these, you actually have a completely additional head unit that can show different things. So you could do a dual setup. You could have one person fishing up in the bow of the boat and one person fishing back in the seat. And you can have different things on your screen, right? You could have different transducers up. You can't do that with like the NBT or the Russell Marine unless you buy a full screen just to basically hide away. But then you may as well go ahead with this. So for a 16-inch screen, I don't think it's crazy. Now, do I think a bunch of us are going to be going out and buying 16-inch screens? Heck no, I don't think that we are. But we do know it's now available. And this is the really exciting part. They introduced HDMI into the Echomap line, into the Ultra 2 series. So for all we know, maybe coming down the path, they're going to give us an Ultra 2 V2 or an Ultra 3 that has HDMI out on the 12-inch screen or the 10-inch screen, because we do now know they can do it in the series. So why not add it to these other ones? Because we know it's a really popular feature. And so I think that'll be interesting to see as we go here. The Flex 19 from Russell, it's under 3K. Yeah. So same exact thing. Same exact thing as the NBT. Granted it's bigger in under 3K, but you still have to have another screen that it's basically duplicating, and it has to have HDMI out on it. So unless you have another HDMI out that you just want to mirror and you're not going to actually have a second screen, that's the thing to know about that. All right, let's pop along to Anglerbilt. I know I popped this up just a little bit here, but one of the tools on Anglerbilt is the Garmin Screenfinder. We can talk about this for a couple quick seconds. These are the tools that are available right now. So you can do custom bundle builder, which we talked about last week. We have the best price finder, Garmin Screenfinder, and and then the battery finder. So if we click on the screen selection, so this whole tool is built in a way so that way, if you're like, I need to buy a new screen, but I don't know what to get, or I've never bought a Garmin unit before and I want to know what I should get, this tool is built in a way to make it super easy for you to figure out exactly what you should get given what's important to you. So it starts with some filters on the side here. You can filter 7-inch, 9-inch, 10-inch, 12-inch, and you can see as I'm doing this, it's live updating on the right-hand side, which is scrollable as well, what screens are available. Right now, I have the Echomap and the GPS map units in here that are live scope compatible from 7 to 12 inches. Most of them, the most popular ones, are in here right now. So you can also do features like if you want to be able to view it on your phone, here's the 8 units that you can view on your phone. If you want HDMI out and view on your phone, now we're down to 3. You can see their GPS map units. And I'll stop there because I think you kind of get it from here. Touch screen or keypad. So if we want keypad, it says no matching screens found. So I have to remove some of these other filters. And now if I wanted a keypadded unit and not touch screen, I can see there's 2 in here that I can get, right? So let's just go ahead and look at a 10-inch screen here. So there's 3 options available. One of the really cool things here is you can click show more specs on a couple of them side by side, and you can see what the differences are. I made this very specifically so it wasn't like a super long laundry list of every spec and feature there. Like you can go to Garmin's website if you want to get that and look at the specs sheet. But this is intended to be the things that most people care about when they're going and buying a unit that they have questions on. It's the screen size. Is it touch screen or is it a keypad or dials, buttons to control it? What's the resolution? Can I view it on my phone? What's the average power draw? Because next week when we talk about the battery finder tool, you'll see why that matters because I actually calculate the runtime based off of what screen you have, which is pretty great. Number of network ports, those are for your live imaging or networking units together, then HDMI out in, and then the BNC video in. So from here, you could go and say, all right, we're going to go with this guy. It's $18.99. I don't need any of these other features, so it's not to me worth the extra $900. Don't really care about the difference there in the resolution. So you could say select and build setup. That's one of the options. And then you can come in here and add the other things for your basically building your own fish finder bundle. And then you can see how much you're saving down here. The other thing that you can do is if you wanted that unit, is you could go in here and say find best price. And when you click that, what it's going to do is it's scanning all of the sites. You can see what the MSRP is. You can see that this is a real-time price comparison tool. This is all stuff that I built just to help anglers out. It's all free. It doesn't cost you anything. I have it rigged up the way that it makes sense for me to do it is in some of these cases, I have it rigged up so that these are referral links, but it never costs you any more money. It's always just to help the fisherman, the angler, the person building a bundle find the best price. So you can see I've got this tool set up and you can see the last date and time that it pulled this price from the website. And it does it at a minimum of every day. And so what you're able to see here is we scan Sportsman's Warehouse, Sportsman's Guide, Shields, Amazon, Cabela's, and Fish USA for what their current prices are on this specific unit. And then if you click check availability, it'll just go directly to their website, which I'll do here in a second to show you. Now, it's calculating off of the MSRP. Garmin units, specifically the chart plotters in the live imaging transducers, are what's called map pricing. So you should not see what we can see here. There should not be retailers that have a lower price. But the reason why right now we're seeing this is, again, because on 7/1, July 1st, Garmin raised their prices on almost all of those units, all their live imaging units, as well as their screens, their chart plotters. And when they did that, most retailers updated their pricing. Some retailers kept their old pricing and they haven't updated it yet. So win for you as the consumer, go and buy it at the discounted price, right? So if I just click check availability because I can see these are the 2 that have it at the discounted price, what it will do here, and I'll share the new tab it's going to open, is boom, I can see I can get the Garmin Echomap Ultra 2 106 without a transducer because that's what we had selected, $18.99. I can add it to cart. Coon Rapids is the closest one to where I live, and you can either ship to store, ship to home, and it looks like it would be here by July 16th if I were to do that. So that's the way that this tool works. You could do the same thing, Sportsman Guide. It'll be $18.99 here as well. As we can see, it's $18.99 for anybody and $18.99 if you're a member, and you can add it to your cart. So again, if you have a preference on which one you want to go to, you can go ahead and choose the retailer that has the best price and or you prefer. If you're a Cabela's person because you have Cabela's points, go ahead and click on the Cabela's one. And then when it opens up here, you can see, yep, for the 10-inch unit with no transducer, it is $20.99. The tool is right. So if you're interested, this is just one of the tools that are here on the site, but it's the Screen Finder tool. If you're interested in picking up a new screen, go check it out. I'd love your guys' feedback, even if you go play around with it. Shoot me an email, DM me, or whatever. There's a contact form at the bottom that you can click on, and you can give me some feedback here as well. I'm building this tool with the angler in mind. It is mobile friendly as well, so super easy to navigate on your phone. I'm continually putting updates out there as well, but that was the Garmin Screenfinder. All right. Woo! Trying not to make this thing feel like an ad, but I'm like excited about these things that I'm building for y'all. So let me know what you think about it. Add Russell Marine. You don't pay sales tax in most states. It ships direct from Garmin usually too. Good to know, Drew. I'll take that down as a note and I will work on getting them added. Appreciate that, man. But like I can't believe there's nothing like that out there in the market today. Like if you want to go buy in like right now, it's primarily built around like Garmin stuff because that's like what a lot of people ask me questions for. And the reason why I built the tool is because I don't want to be the handicap where like if I don't reply to someone, they didn't get the best deal because I didn't show them, hey, this place has it on sale. And it's hard for me to always know what the prices are. So it's like, why not build a tool that just does all the work for you and anybody in the world can just go and use the tool and get the same benefit right on demand, right? And compare things. It's even better than reaching out to me. So I think that's cool, but there's going to be a lot more coming onto that site. It's called Angler Built. The whole idea is it's built by anglers for anglers. We're going to put things on there around like other ice fishing gear, other fishing gear. It's just going to continue to build out. So if there's certain product categories that you want to know about, such as like flip overs, maybe for ice fishing season, maybe I'll put those on there. And the whole idea is like, why doesn't it exist out there where a person can say, I want this product, scan all of these websites and get me the best price? And which one is it? So I built it. So heck yeah, let's go. All right. Garmin also has the Force Current that they announced today. So this is a brand new trolling motor in their Force line. And this is something I didn't see, but I am super excited that they launched it. This is actually a kayak trolling motor, as you can see here, just by the words that are on the screen that I highlighted. And it has power steer foot pedals or a remote to control it. So you can we can just zip through the pictures here because they look pretty good. So you've got the head unit, you've got the prop, and you've got your short shaft here, the prop and the I guess the motor head down here, and this is the control unit head up here. And you've got your rope here, it looks like, or your cable where you can pull it up onto your kayak. You've got your pedals. So this is left and right pedal. My hat is digging into my head. You've got left and right pedals here, so that way you can actually steer it with your feet. I know of no other kayak trolling motor that you can steer with your feet. So that's pretty awesome. And then you've got your lights on the top here, your power, your sync, your status lights, and all of those things there. And then you've got what it looks like from the back, what it looks like laying down, and the remote, which is the same remote for the Garmin Force as well. So it's great to see that they're reusing the same remote. This is not cheap either. It's $3,599, $3,600. We know we don't buy Garmin stuff or look at Garmin stuff because it's cheap. We look at it because it's quality stuff. It integrates with the system. They have wonderful customer service. But yeah, I mean, heck, get whatever trolling motor you want. But this is the new product from Garmin for kayak trolling motor. And like, it does probably, like, I guess I could play this on mute. I found out that Garmin uses copyright music in like all of their advertising videos like this. So I can't play the audio because otherwise I get copyright claims on it, which is not good. So you've got power steer pedals, and you can control it actually from your graphs as well because it integrates into it wirelessly into them. It's got a full brushless motor, and they've got it's a 12 volt or 24 volt unit. The dual voltage on it has 50 pounds of thrust when you use it with 24 volts of battery power, 30 pounds of thrust when you use it with 12 volts of power, and let's see, what other notes do I have here? Programmable foot pedals, so you can engage anchor lock, heading, hold, and more. So it does have spot lock on it, which is great. They call it anchor lock. You've got pedals that connect wirelessly, so you don't need the wire, which is great. They've got smart anchor lock technology with multi-band GPS, so it even works in the windy conditions and strong current. We'll go ahead and go back here and pause it. So this thing's pretty awesome. If you have a kayak, you know how awesome this is, but also how expensive it is. And it looks like you can get it if you don't want the foot pedals with it. What does it go down to? Oh, it goes down to $29.99. So $600 less if you go ahead and get it without the foot pedals. Myself, I'd probably get it with the foot pedals because having that hands-free control is pretty amazing. When wearing the included wireless man overboard tag, the motor cuts off if it detects you fall overboard. So kind of like your main motor on a boat, which is pretty cool. It's got stow and deploy, smartwatch integration. If you have a Garmin watch, you've got two different prop options. You can use either their high efficiency prop or their weedless prop if you're going to be in a lot of vegetation, which when you're kayak fishing, typically you're looking to get a little bit shallower. And so that could be a good prop for you. They've got the industry standard 4-hole mounting pattern. Get on the water and off the water fast with simple motor and pedal installation and removal. It's whisper quiet, rugged design, and that's what they got. So this is the Force Current. If you are interested, this is the second new product from Garmin that was announced today. All right. Let me know if you have any questions or if you're excited about either of those or kind of what each of those like pave the industry way for. Like, I guess let me ask this question. How interested would you be in having HDMI out of your screen that you have? And I don't care what brand that you have. How interested would you be, or do you already have it? Which it sounds like John's got the 8610, so he's already got it. Let me know. All right. Next up, here's another new product coming soon. Deeper. Deeper has these sonar balls, right? These little sonar balls. I'm sure we've all heard of them, seen them, or have had them in the past. Well, at ICAST 2025, which is next week, I will be there. They're announcing a new sonar ball. And guess what? I think I know what it is. I got emailed to me this from their company saying, planning for ICAST, stop by see our latest fish finder exclusively at ICAST 2025. Never seen before, our latest fish finder with 3D fishing map generation will be revealed right there at ICAST. Stop by our booth 3416 and don't miss Deeper Max at the new product showcase. They're calling it Deeper Max, and look at this. It says Deeper Max right here. How awesome is that? This is what we know about it. The only fish finder you need, create personal 3D fishing maps, quickly learn about bottom structure and vegetation, and distinguish your target species with crisp live sonar readings. So you've got the Deeper Max ball here. It looks like it can shoot out about up to 394 feet, 15-hour battery life, built-in GPS, and we can see here it's kind of got like a 3D kind of view of what the structure looks like. And then I got this in another email later on. And so it does say create personal 3D fishing maps. So you can actually create them. Basically, pulling it over the water, you can create your own 3D fishing maps. I don't think you can even do 3D maps with like Humminbird and Garmin and Lowrance, can you? Maybe you can. I've never tried it. But you can see kind of what it looks like here. So that's the new product from Deeper, if you're interested. Nathan says, looks like Raymarine 3D. Interesting. I'll have to check them out. I've seen some of Raymarine stuff, but I haven't dug into their mapping at all. Interesting. But yeah, I'm going to check it out at the show. I will let me know if you want me to do a video on it specifically, or if you just want me to check it out and let you know the highlights on it. Because when I go to ICAST next week, I'll do individual, like 2 to 5 minute videos probably. on specific things that I think are really interesting and just put them up as standalone videos. And then, of course, we're going live Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night next week, all around iCast stuff. I've got a plan. New product showcase will be Tuesday night. Show floor highlights day one will be Wednesday night. So all the things that are new out there that people didn't enter into the new product showcase. And then Thursday will be more of show floor highlights as well as who won in the new product showcase. And that'll be best in show, because I think best in class will know Wednesday night as well. So you get 3 live streams next week from iCast, and then you'll get videos after, probably around like the top 10 new things that I found that I'm really excited about. And then individual products from certain brands, like the Acufy was one that we did last year, was a video from the show. And I think it was like 5 minutes long or something like that. Those are the types of videos. So if there's brands that you want to see, let me know. I saw Amazon has prime deals on some of those. Yeah, on the deeper sonar balls, they definitely do. I think the deeper, the Pro and the Chirp have some deals going on them right now. And if you didn't see, the reason why we're not covering deals tonight is because we don't have enough time. I mean, we're already at 11 o'clock p.m. here, and I've got not even halfway through. So we're going to fly through some of this stuff here pretty quick. But I'm doing Prime Day video. So I launched a Prime Day video about 8 hours ago here on the channel. Go check it out. Prime Day deals day one is going right now. Most of the deals will carry through the end of day Friday. So go check that out. And I'll be doing another video tomorrow, another video on Thursday, and another video on Friday around Prime deals. And it's not just Amazon. Tomorrow's video is going to be around Prime deals, the new ones on Amazon Prime that I saw, or the ones that are really good deals that are still out there. And then Cabela's and Shields are actually running some promotions right now too. So you'll see that in tomorrow's video. So tune into the channel for all that stuff. We love deals. All right, next up. This is actually from a different company, and I saw it on Facebook. I started digging into it, and I reached out to them. It's not cheap, but it looks pretty cool. So if you are a live imaging forward-facing sonar user, this is called the Transducer Buddy. This is a sonar pole, and essentially, I'll show you here a short little video. I've got to keep it muted though, because otherwise I'll get a copyright claim because they have some music going. So look right here on the screen, because they're going to show you how this pole works here. So it flips out, and you simply flip it down. You can spin it around in a circle, and then when you're ready to go, it just flips up, and you can flip it into your boat. So you can actually flip it into your boat when you're going to go in trailer. How awesome is this, from being able to have it in the water, tilting it up just to when you're going to run across the lake, and then flipping it in when you're going to go ahead and put it on your trailer or whatever, put your cover on it. It's inside of the boat. How freaking cool is that? Let me show you another video that they've got here. So this shows what it looks like. You can see it's got basically a big spring on it here, and he's running down the lake, and you can see it's just sitting up there. Here's another one with a guy flipping it up. Here's a guy flipping it up, flipping it in his boat. There's a specific video I want to show you here. So you can see it goes in, and there's a pin right here that, like, if you pull that pin out, you can actually disconnect it and then take it off of your boat. That's how easy it is. Look at this. This is, I think, one of the really kind of interesting, cool things is, like, if you're live scoping in a certain spot and you're like, we got to go move somewhere else. It's not about forgetting that you have your pole down. You just don't need to put the pole up and take the transducer out of the water. You can just start driving, because I think it's about a 5 mile an hour trip. It'll just trip up and it'll fall in place. And then when you get to your new spot, just tilt it down and you're good to go. To me, that's what live imaging is missing, is like that ease of use and not having to fumble around with a bunch of stuff. And I know it's like you're eliminating one step. You're eliminating maybe 2 steps. You're eliminating maybe 3 simple steps that take like 5 seconds to do. But for myself, I look at this as like, it's just that much easier, that much less to worry about. It's just simple and easy to use, which means it's going to be more effective for me. Now, this is the price of the unit is about $550. So yeah, not cheap. And right now I'm trying to figure out, he said it's about $70 shipping because it comes from Canada. I'm debating, but I guess there's a resort maybe up in North Dakota that actually has these on hand that I might see what their pricing is and try to get one from them. Because I really want to try it out. And honestly, $550 is right in line with some of the other premium options out there, like Beat Down Outdoors. They have kind of an auto tilting one as well. It's not technically auto tilting, but like it'll trip up if you have it in the right hole. And that's one of my favorite poles right now. So if you're interested, go check it out. The name of the company is Transom Tech Canada. Support small. I guess they're not local unless you're local in Canada. But you know, I see Canada is kind of part of all of us here. All right. I'm not going to read this to you. I was going to originally, but we just don't have enough time. So I will link everything down below as I always do after the show is over. But Norsk has announced a new marine lithium starting battery. Check this thing out. There's some pretty interesting, cool new features on it. What it says here is they are proud to offer a line of lithium marine starting batteries that exceed most outboard manufacturer specs and will never leave you dead in the water, featuring 3 sets of terminals and included hardware for flexible rigging, Bluetooth battery monitoring via the Norse Guardian app, emergency start reserve, ESR, thermal core heating technology, and deep sleep technologies. Let's hit on each of those rather than reading this to you. So, first is ESR, or emergency start reserve. Essentially, what this means is it locks the bottom 25% capacity of your battery as a reserve by default. This is intended to be helpful for you because it's your cranking battery. So if you have electronics pulling off of it as well, which is what they've designed this to do, your electronics will basically cut off to no power once you hit the bottom 25%, because you want to know if you get to the bottom 25% if it's your cranking battery. Because if you then go to start up because if you ran lower than that and you go to start up your boat and it doesn't crank over because it doesn't have enough battery, that's a bad problem. And so they've designed this in a way that it keeps 25%, which will be enough for you to crank over your boat and get moving again. Whether that means, running the alternator on it and juicing it back up, bringing it in for the day and charging it, or whatever you want to do. But you can actually unlock it. So like, if you're not worried about your 25%, when you get there, you can actually push a button on it to override it. You can access the ESR from the power management button on top of the battery case, or you can use their Norse Guardian app to unlock it, which I'll show you what the button looks like here in a second. So that is what it's about. So they're saying, say goodbye to emergency jump start packs. You won't need it with this. So this is a 12 volt, 180 amp hour LiFePO4 battery, 1200 cranking amps. It is a heated thermal core. So if it gets, below that 32 degrees out, or you're storing it below 32 degrees, you'll still be able to charge it and it'll still be able to crank over, and you won't have any issues because it will use some of its power to kind of heat that core up. So that way it can actually accept a charge into it, which is great. And you definitely want, if you're a cold weather fisherman, for sure. It has Bluetooth technology in it as well. We already talked about the cranking amps. It weighs 46 pounds. They're saying 4,000 cycle lifespan, 15 to 20 years. Of course, that just depends on how much you use it. 10-year warranty. Triple terminals for flexible rigging that we're going to look at, but it is $1,529.99. Again, another picture of the front of it here. This is the 120 amp hour version of it with 900 cranking amps. This is $1,149.99. Here's the top of this thing. Look at this. Look at this. 3 sets of terminals. I haven't seen this on a battery, for at least for fishing for sure. Is you've got 3 negatives and 3 positives. The idea is that it's just triple terminals for flexible rigging. All Norsk Lithium starting batteries offer 3 sets of terminals and the needed terminal hardware, M8 posts and M8 bolts, to make quick work of the most complicated boat rigging jobs. You've also got on the top here something that I don't know what this is. Is that for thermal heating? I don't know what that is. But here is your power management button. So this button right here is what you would press if you need to access that bottom 25%. You'd be able to do that. Quick press, it says check status or disable deep sleep, which we'll talk about deep sleep next. You can long press it. 2 lights is to access the ESR. 3 lights is to enable deep sleep. 4 lights is to reset the BMS. So like if you tripped it or something. And that's the way that this thing works. I need some energy drink here. And then we see here, you can use the Norsk Guardian app with the Bluetooth functionality that's in it as well. So let's talk about deep sleep. Deep sleep is an advanced feature available in the Norsk Guardian app. Storing your battery has never been easier. One of the most maddening, frustrating, and time-consuming problems any boat owner can ever be forced to deal with is having to track down a passive or a phantom draw that slowly and painfully sucks the energy out of boat batteries. Sometimes these low-amp draws point back to faulty wiring that needs to be painstakingly tracked down and rewired. At other times, the source of the problem is the boat owner themselves. Ever accidentally left a radio or a light on in your boat, or perhaps you've forgotten to turn off of the master power switches. Yeah, done that, blah, 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 blah. So this is an easy button solution. The deep sleep concept is where they can use the BMS's brain that sits on top of the battery to make it really easy for users to shut down every battery in their boat through the Norsk Guardian app with a simple touch of a button. So press the button and all the batteries go into deep sleep, stopping current from hitting the battery terminals. This also makes sure if your boat has any parasitic voltage draws that your batteries aren't going to drain when docked in the parking lot or long-term storage, which is great. And instead of having to crawl through your compartments and flip switches, that you're good to go with just that deep sleep. And so this is the power management system, one touch power management button. And as we had talked about earlier, 3 lights is enable deep sleep. And then you can quick press to disable the deep sleep mode. Or you can do it from the app. We already talked about the thermal core. This is what that thing on the top was. It's a VTS, voltage transient suppression. Voltage transient suppression technology, which is an integrated safety feature that is designed to protect the outboard's charging system, as well as any devices connected to the starting battery, such as pumps, lights, sonar units, shallow water anchors, downriggers, blah, 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 from a voltage spike that occurs in the highly unlikely event that the battery's BMS disconnects the cells while receiving a charge from the alternator. What it does, it significantly suppresses the voltage spike that can occur if a BMS in a lithium marine battery disconnects, potentially allowing excess voltage, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's a hefty 30 amp current to the battery below 17 volts. Without the VTS, the voltage measured in excess of 30 volts. So there you go. Pretty cool. Some new technology hitting. Yeah, coming from Norsk. So some interesting, cool innovation there. I would expect to see, I mean, some of this is probably patented, but I would expect to see some of this stuff also hitting other brands that are coming out with similar things in the future as well, would be what I would expect. But this is like, I'm proud of them. Very innovative. You know, Norsk has a reputation for being a more expensive battery on the market for sure. And I've heard of hit and miss in terms of customer support. I've never owned one myself. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I do actually have one. But I haven't owned a bunch of their batteries before. I'm a huge fan of Amped Outdoors. I think they have the best customer service in the industry. And for bang for your buck, you're not going to find anything better, in my opinion, based off of my research. But dude, this is intriguing. Like, maybe I might need to pick one up and try it out, give it a run for its money and see what it can do. But that price point is rich. Would any of you guys consider this price point? Yeah, 550. We're talking about the that pole. Will there be a new Garmin Live Scope? I don't know yet, Wayne. I am thinking if we don't know about it now, I don't think it's going to happen. If I don't find out about it next week at iCast, I think it's going to be a no for a new live scope until a minimum of January. is the price of Canadian currency. The 550 is USD. It's about 700 Canadian. Drop in the bucket if you've got 100K in your rig. Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's a valid point, right? Because this is like, yeah, $1,500 on a 100K rig. That's nothing, right? Because you're cranking battery, you're dropping weight, and it can, of course, power electronics for you too. Nice being able to just turn your batteries off in the boat instead of disconnecting everything. 100%. Well, and then monitor them via Bluetooth, right? And I know there's a lot of batteries that have Bluetooth technology in them too. So, okay. Next up, I gotta fly through these. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more tabs here to go through. We're gonna go through quick, but let me know if there's anything that's of super big interest to you, and we'll zoom back. Some of these will go quick. So I'm gonna try to fly through them. AFTCO announces 2025 ICAST new product showcase entry. So these are all the products that AFTCO has said, we have a new product, go vote on it. So typically they only announce and put their best products in there, but this is what they're entering in. They're entering in some shorts called the Pinnacle shorts. Interesting, they look breathable down here in the crotch area. They look like they could be like a suede material. I don't know what they are. A durable poly blend fabric with DWR stain resistance designed for comfort and utility. They feature an elastic waistband, dedicated pockets for pliers and phones, and even a built-in bottle opener for celebrating on deck. Oh, that's what that is. Interesting. So they got some shorts. They got some breakwater waterproof gloves. These are waterproof. Oh, there must be a lining inside of it. Yeah, 100% sealed membrane for cold, wet, and windy conditions. That could be interesting for even like ice fishing. They've got Swift water shorts that they are launching. They've got deliver comfort and performance crafted from breathable woven mesh spandex fabric. These shorts are quick drying and have a 4-way stretch with a 7-inch inseam, so they're short, and multiple pockets for storage. Anglers can move swiftly from sea to shore. So intended to be able to, of course, jump in the water with these and kind of use them that way as well. For women, I was going through this earlier and I saw this and I was like, I sure hope a guy's not going to be wearing this thing. And then I did see in women's technical apparel, the all-day short-talls combine comfort, coverage, and functionality made from a lightweight stretch woven fabric. They offer UPF 50 sun protection, DWR stain resistance, and a flexible fit ideal for all-day wear. Cloud knit hooded dress will have you on cloud 9. So if you paired it with this super soft jersey knit dress is the perfect escape and beach cover up. Cool. Cloud knit cover up they've got here. I'm not going to read through these. They got the Swimmer 115. So it is a mullet color. It looks like AFCO's entry into the saltwater hard bait category. They've also got a 8-foot carbon fiber whip gaff, a lightweight tool designed for quick and efficient landings inshore and nearshore game fish, under a pound, outfitted with a stainless steel hook, non-slip grips, and a rubber gimbal for secure, confident handling. So they got that guy. They've got an Expedition duffel bag, 55-liter capacity. They've got fillet knives that are new this year. Each knife features a 4116 German stainless steel blade with a corrosion-resistant gold titanium nitride PVD coating. Whew, that's a mouthful. A slip-resistant ergonomic handle ensures clean, precise cuts from deck to table. So they've got, it looks like a 4-pack. Yeah. So it looks like we could go and check them out. I wonder how much they're going to be. $79 for the smallest two, and the biggest two are $89. Woo! So that's AFCO. That's some of the new stuff that they got coming out right now. Zman has announced, I feel like I talked about this, but I couldn't find it anywhere. They've got a new product called the Fuzzy Bait System. It's the Fuzzy Elastec baits. So it's kind of exactly what you're seeing here. And to me, I got to pick up some of these. I don't have any of these that have like those tentacles on them. And I got to get them because they primarily came from the Japanese market that you can see here from like JDM baits for sure. So the Z-Man Fuzzy System and others are available $20 per pack and $5 to $10 per bait. So I'm guessing $20 for a 4-pack, I think is probably what it is. in $5 to $10 per bait, or less than half as expensive and 10 times more durable at the same time. New for the 2026 fishing season, the new Zman fuzzy bait system features 3 essential silicone skirt implanted profiles, each one built upon Zman's ElasTech formula and ready to produce heavyweight bass in extreme conditions, clear water, cold fronts, excessive fishing pressure, or anytime you simply need to get bit. Oh yeah, the nuggets. Oh yes. So this is the fuzzy bugs. This is an inch and 1.75 inches long. Sweet. This is a fuzzy nugget. $10 for a 4-pack featuring 12-sided dodecahedron shape. Don't know how you pronounce that. Probably butchered it. And then the fuzzy TRD. Dude, these look awesome. I gotta, next time I see these in the store, I'm gonna pick them up. But all right, that's from Z-Man. Pretty exciting. Next up, Mustang Survival launched quite a few different new products, but the two that I'm going to talk about are their new PFDs. So they've got the new Elite inflatable PFDs. The all new Elite 120 and 190 are the next generation of inflatable PFDs designed to fit better, feel lighter, and stay out of your way until you need them most. Built with the same adapt bladder as our award-winning Atlas 190. I have one of those. Trusted hammer hydrostatic inflator technology. And approved by both the U.S. Coast Guard and Transport Canada. They set a new standard performance, safety, and design. So the first one is the Elite 190 inflatable PFD. The second is the Elite 120. So the Elite 190 is intended to replace the Atlas 190, and the Elite 120 is intended to replace the Elite 28. They're both very similar. The 190 has more buoyancy to it. And it also has some attachment options for like offshore type usage. So I'll go ahead and pull up the 120 first. One of the things that I really like about this, because I have, was it the Elite 28? This really big neckline on it. It doesn't touch your neck. So it's super comfortable to wear all day because it literally doesn't ride your neck. It sits back, which is absolutely wonderful. So I love that. Not cheap, $300 full price, but these usually do go on sale around the holidays. So this guy right here, if we look at the specs on it, 28 pounds of buoyancy. You've got an engine kill switch loop, which is right. They've got it in here. I thought that was a really good idea to have added in. Trying to see if I can find it here, and I don't know if they show it. Maybe right here? They do not show it. I bet you they show it in this video. Oh, here we go. Right there. It's that little red loop on the inside here that you're gonna see. So that way, if you've got your kill switch for your engine, you can hook it right there. Because like on my PFDs, like they don't really have a good spot for it. So this is the 120. So as we had said, in terms of buoyancy, 28 pounds of buoyancy. And now if we go back, you'll see this other one is up. This is a step up. I think this is the highest level of buoyancy that they have, which is 42 pounds of buoyancy, which is crazy. But this one also has the optional leg straps, the spray hood, and the light, and it has room for an AIS PLB as well. So if you want like a flashing alert device type thing, if you go in the water, pretty great. All right, next up, Akuma has the Sapphire spinning reels built for power and versatility. So this is a new reel from Akuma. It's a spinning reel. It's intended actually to be a crossover between freshwater and saltwater. It's built rugged. It's not like a hardcore saltwater one, but it's built a little bit better in terms of the waterproofing on it. So for a freshwater fisherman, it's built really well is essentially the takeaway for it. It has this aluminum handle that is a screw-in type, so it's going to give you a lot better feel for when you're reeling, and it's going to be a tighter connection versus the ones that you have like that back screw. This is the best way to attach a handle, so you're going to have that solid handle on it, which is really great. They have it in a few different sizes. They've got it in 2,500, 3,000, 4,000. 1,000, 2,000, 2,500, 3,000. They've got a bunch of different ones here. We're looking at 7-ball bearings in 1 RB. It's late. I've been up since early. And I don't know what RB stands for. Some rotational ball, maybe bearing or something like that. I don't know. Let me know down in the chat. What does the RB stand for? But anyways, here's the key point. It's a pretty dang good reel, but it's not going to break the bank. Granted, it's not cheap, but it's priced, depending on which model you get, between $85 and $95, and it's going to be available this August. So it'll be at ICAST for sure. Sizes in 1,000 to 5,000. 1 year limited year warranty. Oh, the H is for high speed. So they've got a 2,500, 3,000, 4,000 in high speed. Roller bearings. Thank you, Wayne. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, Wayne. Okay, cool. So if you're interested in a good middle, it's crazy to think that I'm talking about like an $85 to a $95 reel, and that's like, it's middle tier. That's not like even upper. But hey, maybe I'll pick one up and try it out and see how it compares to my $200 and $300 reels that I've got. Because if it's good, dude, I'm all down for. And Daiwa's got a bunch of. There's so many new reels and rods out there. It's hard. So the only reason why I brought that one up is because of the price point. Like, it's under $100. It's pretty good. And if it's really as good as it sounds, it could be one of the best bang for your buck reels out there for spinning. All right, we're not going to really talk a ton about this, but this is Force Flex. I just wanted to say there's so many sunglass companies coming out nowadays. It's actually quite crazy. Force Flex is kind of like the newest one that I've seen. They're going to be at ICAST. But look at what you can do with these sunglasses. Literally bend them in half, fold them up. Pretty cool. So what they've got is, if we go to fishing lifestyle here, technology, let's do that. So you can flex it, twist it, fold it. It won't ever break, ever. Look at, they got this thing like twisted a full 180 degrees for each of the lenses. It returns to its original position seamlessly. They say comfort. You've never experienced anything like it. They've got supposedly a pretty good comfort system with the nose guards built into it. Military technology created by the world's top tactical eyewear designer, whoever that is. Intra block, so it's got permanent 100% UVA, UVB, and UVC protection infused into the lens. It's not coated, so it can't scratch or wear off. Impact absorption, just in case. Lifetime guarantee. Yes, really. 97 patents worldwide. They're authentic, the real deal. And then it kind of goes back through. So interesting stuff for sure. And they have where you can actually get prescription lens ones as well. They're not cheap though. So if we go fishing, I think you probably saw them. And if we say we're going to do these guys, Bryce Full Black. This is right up my alley. Bryce Full Black, $59.99, $89.99 polarized. Hold on a second. These are way cheaper than what I had seen before. $90 if you want polarized, or $59.99 if you don't want it polarized. Tax included. What the heck? So anyways, maybe this is more of a thing than I thought. Interesting. We're going to have to check them out. But they've got a new product that came out. I'm going to share just a tiny little bit of this next one. This is a new app that is coming out. They're going to be at ICAST, so I might go talk to them. It's called AI Angler, and it's essentially a new app called Fish Score that allows you to measure your catch just with your camera's, your phone's camera. So I'm going to mute this and I'm going to play it here. So you can see you're in an app. You can click measure catch. I'm going to jump forward. And you can see, like, even if you just have it there, he's actually getting measurements 14.0, 14.1, 14.2. So it's measuring it and it locked in at 14.0. And you can see he's just got it on here to validate. Like the fish is flapping around and it's coming up with what the actual dimension of the fish is, measuring it in at the right dimension. Like, how cool is that? You can even do it here. Supposedly you can do it on your lap. And then they have this whole like fish score thing built into it. So I think the idea is catch, picture, or catch, photo, release. Like, you don't need a bump board. Just put it down, take a quick picture of it. It's going to take care of the rest and let go of the fish, rather than messing around with a bump board, which is pretty cool. So interesting, using AI technology to do this type of thing. So check it out if you are interested. I know it's like pre-release, but this is what they got going on. Next, I thought this was an interesting product. You could say it has something to do with fishing, but I don't think it does, but I thought it was really cool anyways. It's called Heat It. So like if you've gotten a mosquito bite or a bee sting, this is a new type of technology. So it looks like this. It can just fit on your keys here, little keychain thing. You take one part of it off, you plug it into the bottom of your phone, USB-C, and essentially what it does is to relieve itch and pain, the affected skin area is briefly heated to around 124 degrees. The chemical-free principle of local hyperthermia is medically confirmed. And like they've got doctors and things for like that validated this and all of that type of thing. But you basically plug it in. If you got a mosquito bite, you put it on there. And what do they say? For how many seconds? I think I just said it. It's just a few seconds, I think. Like 5 seconds or 10 seconds or something like that. So you put it there, and then boom, it's basically taking all of the sting from bees and wasps, horse flies, and mosquitoes out. Over 1 million satisfied customers worldwide in over 15 countries, 50 million plus treatments performed since 2020, 4.8 out of 5 star rating on Google Play and the Apple App Store. I have never heard of this before. And if you choose the child, you can choose the duration. And if you choose child, and or sensitive, it actually lowers the heat to 120 degrees, which they said seems like not a lot from 124, but it is actually pretty significant in terms of what you feel. So interesting, kind of cool. And then I wasn't looking for this, but I found it because Lakewood's going to be diecast. So I was looking through their stuff that they're going to have there. I was like, ice fishing on my mind. So you know how we're always trying to figure out like what's the best way to carry spoons, like ice fishing spoons? Check out this product. So it's basically it's like foam, if you will, where you can actually hang all of your things in there. So your spoon's in there, but it's soft, right? You can Velcro it shut. And the whole idea is you've actually got, it works like a wallet. So you actually have a plastic piece here that goes against it. And then you've got another piece of foam here. So you've got foam, plastic, foam where you could have hooks in it. You've got a piece of plastic back here again, and then more foam. So you can actually fit quite a few things in there. And you can see it's keeping things in place. So it's actually a book, if you will. Here's a better view of that plastic divider in there. So they're not going to get tangled on opposing pages of each other. And then when you're ready to put it away, you just flap it shut and put the Velcro on it. How cool is that? Because I'm always thinking of like the hard plastic cases and whatnot. I don't know. Maybe you've seen these. These aren't new. These have been out for a while. You can get them in 3 different sizes: small dimension, medium dimension, large dimension. But yeah, pretty interesting. We got Drew here. Just noticed Garmin released a 15-inch ultra-wide GPS map unit, but no HDMI. Definitely not going to fit in my shuttle bag. Yeah, and it's not cheap either. Go back. Drew, if you were looking at that, go check out. It was the FGTN show. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. We talked about it, and I think there's some surprising stuff in there in terms of like what the actual size of the screen is. I think there's a lot there. So go check out that video, at least that section of it. It should be near the beginning. I bet that Lakewood fits in bibs well too for run and gun. Heck yeah. Well, and I like that it's not like a hard plastic case, right? Pretty cool. pretty cool. All right, that is the show for today. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in tomorrow. We've got another video. If you didn't see the Amazon Prime Day deals video, it's going through Friday. So check out the video that's already on the channel that I posted a few hours ago. And then there'll be another one on day 2 deals, new deals that I'm finding, as well as other retailers that have deals going right now. That will be Prime Day deals day 2. There's 4 days. It's the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. So that goes through Friday. And I'm going to get a video out every single day. And then we've got those 3 live streams next week. So if you're not already, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. Hit that like button. Thank you all so much. Have a great night. Tight lines. And until I talk to you later, take it easy.